we're gonna swap it into jungle.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Nope, it is the Qiyana here. So Qiyana burst damage, not going to be the Trundle, but you know, Qiyana, especially if you do get set up for it and you have your ultimate, you can definitely burst combo the Xin. So
Backed up by this incredible scaling option of the Azir in the hands of BDD, and
yeah, you always lock in your pocket BDD Azir for later. And like, all right, we're good to go for those team fights later on. Everything else is invested in control, basically, to get them there.
we'll see if Mad Lions maybe can disrupt that as early as minute 1 if they want to go for level 1, but it looks like a pretty split map so far.
30 seconds until
It's just a 5-point across. Carzzy and Kaiser staying relatively safe. Early vision has been big. Of course, Verizon 5G all chat. Share your opinions. Cheers. Well wishes using the Verizon 5G all chat. Let us know how you feel about Yuumi. Let us know how you feel about Jarvan and any other champion that LEC casters may have really strong opinions
Yeah,
about.
we'll psychoanalyze you if you feel like that's necessary for this time in your life as well.
Look, man, therapy's expensive. If I got to get it from Twitch chat, so be it.
Yeah, give it to you live here at Worlds. Defensive ward opening from both sides, though. I want to point out that the one on top side, behind the red buff, they're looking for those possible sneaky plays over to get that top side vision, while simultaneously setting up with the sweeper in Nautilus inventory for a delayed invade. Anytime you see that sweeper early on from the support, yeah, it signals a delayed invade. They get their ward kill. They also get their zombie ward up, and they. As soon as they get the sweeper reveal,
They go forward. Grassblade comes out immediately. Flash out. 2 flashes this early in the game is big. Now, if they had a man advantage, they have a Zinz out, they have a Nautilus, they have a Kalista. They absolutely win in an even exchange. But Mad Lions had more members, and that's what matters. It is at the cost of a TP, but 2 flashes in that early lane are going to make it so hard for Ruler in life.
and the best part, Daniel, 2 important flashes for the bottom side where they want to play aggressive. They want to try and get these kills, punish Carzzy and Kaiser with their double exhaust laying down there with Yuumi Lucian. No flashes on Nautilus. By the way, I don't know why I keep calling you Daniel. Nobody else does that at EU, right?
No, but I appreciate it. It's like it's what makes our cast unique. You're like, you're so close, you're so personable.
I know where you live. Regardless.
Well, you know, now I'm going to need that Twitch chat therapy.
I'm moving on quickly here. We're just going to gloss over that one. The bottom lane, though, it takes away a lot of that possible aggressiveness out of the Nautilus Kalista. You know, with no flashes, it's a lot more difficult to follow up on some of that early game plan as far as setup that we talked about. The Yuumi lanes generally, you know, early on, if you can take little chip trades, it's perfect. Because everybody that wants to play against Yuumi wants to all in, burn your cooldowns, and then go for kills. But if you just get to chip away and then Yuumi heal right back up, that's how you scale up with this champion. That's how you know, you want the early game to go. And with Clid starting on red into Raptors as expected, pathing down to the bottom side, maybe they still go for this opportunity. It's a little bit difficult for him to find a pathway down there since they early warded for themselves. You see, looks like it was Carzzy's ward there through the river, sees the pathway. They will even see him if he chases the Scuttle Crab down. But Clid hopping backwards, so he's going to reverse to Scuttle Crab on top side instead.
Interesting. We'll see if Elyoya is going to go for the contest here. He will be a little bit behind on the initial Scuttle Crab spawn.
I don't think Humanoid got a peek of him. Maybe in the right beginning of it, but it looks like it should be. Yeah, both pushing lanes, able to secure topside Scuttle Crab for him, no problem. He shouldn't have to smite it either. Okay, he does.
I know he's in here.
Does use his smite anyway. I was wondering. Okay, second one is actually pretty close for cooldown.
Hook is going to go in. That's going to be the auto coming out as well. Carzzy getting locked up. Exhaust and Ignites now being traded, but Ruler has to run for his life. They're so powerful. They're going to grab one. Carzzy still living. Kaiser trying to body block as much as humanly possible, but the big anchor is going to get it done. Cat versus Nautilus. They're just going to walk away.
Round 2, Elyoya in the top lane, Water Blade in hand. This could get messy.
Humanoid, there's no mana on BDD. He's moving in, he's taking a tower shot. One more! Oh, outplayed! Oh, one more! The action does not stop. Armit now stepping forward. He's got a lot of armor because it's stacking up. He's got Conquer Proc as well. Instantly, Mad Lions just like that.
I love it. It's a rumble in every single lane here. This is what you want to see at World's Group Stage, baby. Mad Lions are throwing down. This is such an important game for them versus Gen G in this group. After taking that first loss to Team Liquid, they need to grab the win here. They are setting themselves up for so much success. The double exhaust lane down there, Carzzy and Kaiser getting that kill first, but then a little bit of a blooper afterwards when the flash and still dying at the end does mean an extra summoner spell in addition to going down.
Yeah.
Still, the money went to the supports, though, so it's going to be Killer Yuumi and Killer Nautilus. Meanwhile, the other 2 lanes getting their kills and burning the flashes is just as important. BDD now on this Azir into the LeBlanc lane, where usually he's very confident to pick it. No flash completely changes it, because Humanoid can play it very aggressively. Even if jungler's not there, he has to respect it. And BDD, he slides himself into turret range, trying to go aggressive to get the shield, even though the root is on him. And so Chain procced at perfect timing, from Humanoid to lock him up for those extra tower shots there. But BDD is the one that slid into place there just inside turret range. So another bit of a blooper from him. Meanwhile, the top side was straightforward. Good job by Elyoya pathing up there, chasing him down.
Top lane was a gank, mid lane was certainly an outplay, and bottom lane is the product of that level 1 where they were able to take away those big flashes from the side of Life and Ruler. Certainly that 2v2 would have been significantly easier if they had those cooldowns up and available. But the downside is, once you start losing to LeBlanc, you generally keep losing to LeBlanc. Now the good news is BDD does have a CS lead. The bad news is Elyoya's right about to enter his lane.
And you'll see good LeBlanc players, as soon as they get any sort of lead like this, they just can keep bluffing. And so sometimes you show your jungler, sometimes you're just bluffing, but every single one has to be respected. So Humanoid does a very good job, keeps up aggressive play, goes for trade after trade after trade. Yes, BDD is sustaining in CS, and is last hitting extremely well. Some of them being dropped by Humanoid to go for a super aggressive trade there, and also when they did the earlier one, the minion wave was pushing, so lost a couple there. But if they can get more kills and get more mid-prio out of it, that's where they'll find their rewards. BDD has so many games on this champion, as we mentioned, though. He basically specializes in a lot of these more difficult, kill pressure matchups in trying to out CS and scale for later.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about the bat line, and right now Gen G's bot lane is clearing control. Their flashes are up, the summoner spells from the side of Mad Lions are there. But I think it is important that we highlight, because yesterday was a very different kind of BDD game. It was the Zoe, and yes, that's a pick we know him for, but it's easy to get comfortable thinking of him as this big scaling threat on the Azir, but he did monster that individual mid lane matchup, which is part of the reason why I think that outplay. Obviously, BDD is going to hang his head in shame after something like that, but in general, it's just so good because you're shutting down what was supposed to be the reliable late-game insurance for Gen G pretty early on in the game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually play off it. Elyoya is now level 6, so his kill pressure, a chain on BDD means death. There's no flash there, so he has to play very respectfully. And, Humanoid can, again, try and force over and over, but they've got no vision around top, or around mid, and they're actually hovering bottom instead.
Elyoya stepping forward. Doesn't look like he was spotted. Now going to leap in, go for the wall stun, but it's not going to work out.
It's a bit of a yikes there. That cooldown early on for Qiyana is quite large, so ultimate being expended, that is big thumbs up for the bottom lane of Gen G. Ruler, no flash.
Difficult situation now for Mad, because they were already getting pushed out in that lane. Now you're going to have the recall. As close as going to come back with Boots tier 2 as well. Yep. Ninja Tabby on top of that, so that much more tankiness, that much more survivability. But Clid, I like this. Dashing into the pit here. BDD just continuing to trade back and forth. If they can sneak away this Herald, it's very big.
Yeah, leashes it to the top side. Did you know you can actually sneak around the vision of the top Scuttle Crab, by the way, if you hug that wall?
I actually didn't. I thought they changed it so that it was like you could. Yeah. Wow.
It's one of the funniest ones. They do get the Rift Herald. Can they escape with it though?
Arma going to use the first stack here, instantly fully charging up that Conqueror. Elyoya going to deliver. Kaiser to the midst. Everybody Clid getting lower and lower. Humanoid now stepping forward. Perfect ulti from BDD to keep the team alive.
Taking out the trash, sweep them all back into the river. Basically just disengaging for the team though, but it's double neutral objective wins for Gen G. So while Mad Lions, so much early success, getting these kills, all 3 lanes, action, 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 all simultaneously and getting themselves some gold, the neutrals going over to Gen G might become problematic. Dragon stacking when you're the ones with the Kalista Nautilus now reaching your level 6. That all-in becomes so much more dangerous, has to be worked around, and some of the turret plates being picked up in the aftermath as well.
Yes, but have you considered, as Raymond has highlighted here, that the Mad Lions have picked Yuumi, a fellow feline, to give themselves the cat buff, and therefore the game is over?
Okay.
Checkmate, Kobe.
Because I know, so I don't have a cat for Travis reasons, but I know that there's always this issue when you get a new cat, and sometimes they don't like the cat that you already have, and they have a hard time, working together.
Yeah.
Yuumi is not a mad sort of feline, yet
No.
the lions are quite, angry,
mad.
so maybe different disposition. We'll see if it works out. The scaling's
Yeah.
definitely going to be there, and we've seen so much success. My personal favorite is when you have teams where Yuumi's scaling doesn't have to be Yuumi on your AD carry later in the game. Yuumi can go on these assassins. The best, biggest plays are Yuumi jumping on LeBlanc, on Qiyana, and actually 1v9ing, picking up those quadras, picking up those pentas, because you get the extra stats, you get the extra heal speed to go chase everyone down, and it really turns assassins and carries like this into carries that you don't normally see in League of Legends, where they're not usually 1v9s. They're not usually true hyper carries that lifesteal through and heal up and, actually 1v9, but if you attach a Yuumi to them, you get to live that dream.
Certainly do. See how Mad Lions want to set up for that dream, if it's going to be Humanoid or Elyoya, maybe even Armut, who's going to carry the Yuumi through in these fights. But for now, Gen G moving in, taking control of the bottom side of the map. Mid lane control is even, but you got 4 members strong now on the bottom side from Gen G. And Carzzy and Kaiser, they've got the ulti to clear a wave if it comes to it, but a lot of threat there. Humanoid, though, just continuing to trade aggressively. BDD firing back, though. Respect to him, not walking away scared from this LeBlanc. Knows that if he wants to come out in the trades, he needs to fire back with some damage.
Yep, not backing down. You just go with the defensive build path. He went with the Merc Treads as necessary. His flash came back up now. Rulers is still down from that bottom lane play that we mentioned, but it's going to come up pretty shortly here too, and then they can go super aggressively. Life is ready. Point click Nautilus ultimate into knockup, into passive auto for snare. Somebody's going to sit in the same place for a while, and while you already have invested your gold into Grievous Wounds down there, into the Yuumi, kind of like to see that. The Executioners was one of the first pickups there for Ruler. He knows he's going to be putting a lot of work into targets receiving healing, and wants to be able to get to those Rend kills.
Yeah, I think it's really good that you pointed out, because sadly, while we talk about healing reduction a lot, there have been so many games where one team has fallen behind, and then we just do not see healing reduction until 4th items in the super, super late game. And just denying that effectiveness early on, having that option now for the entire game, feels like a good pickup. Denying the shield bow early on, or delaying the shield bow early on, not the biggest deal, as Life and Ruler have kind of held on to control of this lane with all the kill threat that they do have.
And the big question, the Dragon control. You can have bottom lane control for days. That Rift Herald was about to time out, so Glid pops at bottom, go over and use it as a little bit of distraction. Rotation down here from Elyoya with the Yuumi on top of him. They get the turret plate charge before transitioning.
Important. A little bit more pressure here on the bottom side. Carzzy, Elyoya waiting.
Oh, it's a
and
juicy
Fish
ult.
for an engage. Elyoya hesitating, though. Doesn't want to overcommit here. Zin's ultimate, of course, makes it very difficult, if that is the priority target that they try to access, will deny most of the range damage from Lucian.
They have a reset from Humanoid, who looks like he's looking for a teleport. Anytime you see minimap them just staying in Fountain, he's got to be looking for his teleport. There it is.
Ready to fight for the objective. Do not want to give up the second Drake. Elyoya waiting in stealth, pushing forward. A big ult is going to be crucial. Is fighting the snare in the river. Yuumi ult now coming out, but they're throwing the Nautilus right back in the midst of the team. That's going to be one squishy Qiyana instantly deleted. Rascal throwing the ult across the bat side. Carzzy firing back in the meantime. Humanoid leaping in, trying to lock down Clit. Armut in the midst of every team. The clone as well as him just spinning. Clit now going to get dropped. Carzzy flashing out to safety. Absolute messy fight, but Humanoid going into the backside, trying to finish up Ruler. He's going to grab one, but no, the spear's coming out. Finds the kill on Life. Ruler fires right back.
And they do split kills, but really the biggest exchange, Dragon number 2 going over to Gen G. They can keep stacking it. This is how you want to play, this set from Gen G. Force on that possible Dragon Soul as early as possible into the game. So number 2, critical pivot point there. They do come out exchanging the kills with, Humanoid flashing in to go get another one and exchanging his life there to finish off the support. But mounting pressure now, as BDD has been fending off the LeBlanc pressure mid lane. They never actually brought the Qiyana to combine with Humanoid, as actually something I was kind of looking for as far as the opening. The flash was blown, keep up that pressure, try and Qiyana burst him and really keep down this Azir. But since they did not spend resources into it, he just kept farming. He's up to a very suitable pace. Here's another look at how they finish it off. Of course, they're the ones with the Kalista. They have the Ren, they have the extra stacks in Dragon. Does get the River Stun there, but immediately Kalista ults into Nautilus forward. This is why that bottom duo is so important. And it was actually Rascal who got the big burst damage there at the end as well to finish off that first kill. Then trying to repeat here. Clid can't get out. Carzzy, good job here by him getting the last auto before flashing out. And Humanoid's extending at the end, getting a bit of gold for himself while exchanging and getting over the kill is a bit of a risky maneuver because it also costs him a summer spell in flash, so not quite worth it there.
Now, Armada getting aggressive on the top side, knowing that he has jungler and support in the area. Rascal going to be forced to back away as they get a little bit more tower damage, but it's 15 minutes. Not nearly as important as the early game in breaking down those plates. For now, Gen G holding onto the gold lead, and I think important thing in that fight, Elyoya's second ult, again, very ineffective. Only hitting the snare on the Nautilus, not finding the stun on anybody else, and credit to Gen G for splitting up and not letting that cooldown be impactful in the fight. That's going to be huge as we move forward because Mad Lions really need that CC if they want to win these team fights. This is hard to fight against this Nautilus Kalista.
Yeah, they have to have a good ultimate, but they also have to have DPS to follow up on it. So that one kind of had neither. You're like,
turns out if you don't hit people, it's not CC or damage. Who would have thought?
The good exchange though there is kind of ult for ult. You're forcing the Nautilus ult or the Kalista ultimate to get the Nautilus, but then he has a way in, and it's good follow up there from Gen G. This Rift Herald being started out though, they do have their cooldowns back, so Mad Lions should probably be able to finish it before the rotation comes through, especially with Humanoid playing body blocker. Oh, the eyeball!
The back is there.
They smite it, they get it, but they can't pick up the rewards. Hatch that eyeball. Sit on it like an egg.
The warmth of the Nautilus.
Yeah, go squat on it.
There you go, Rascal. It's your job. You're a bouncer now. Nobody touches this eye.
Oh, yeah, he's on watch. Grave is a good bouncer, too. He's got the Mafia skin. It's perfectly thematic.
That's what we're waiting for, is the thematic champion and skin picks.
You know, the Rift Herald is actually quite evil, too. It's like, it's a scuttle crab that got corrupted by the evil presence of the Baron Pit.
Oh, wow.
And then turns out, oh, it's actually just the progeny of Graves. Didn't know that twist was coming.
He, not a mammal. He lays eggs. Who knew?
Give him back a cigar. Get us out of here.
Luden's Echo now finished for Humanoid. Very crucial item at this stage of the game. Of course, BDD already has his on the opposite side, and you're now seeing the shield bow come in for Ruler alongside the Rage Knife. So the Kalista, very big, powerful threat. BDD already kicked off to the side lane, but naturally, I do think we need to keep an eye on Humanoid and Elyoya specifically. The big mid-jungle threat, the power, in theory, to delete anyone on the map, but can they make good on it?
I agree. I want to live that dream too. Anytime I see Yuumi in the game, and a lot of people recoil, but I look for who is going to be the star that gets the attachment, buffs up your stats, you get to chase people down and get your kills. Well, Humanoid is level 11 and he finished his Luden's Echo, so he's a good candidate. As you mentioned, soon to follow will also be Elyoya. Maybe they, with the slow that Yuumi can get and the ultimate, maybe they can set him up for a better one of his own.
Going in, immediately getting the Kalista ult in exchange. Life still living, though. Big major team fight all gone. Maybe Mad want to use a little bit of the pressure they built up now to go for something. The Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. They are the ones with priority access to the pit, but they will not have the Qiyana ult for the fight.
So that one was actually a much better trade for Mad of ult for ult, even though it's the same two, because they also chunked out life, and there was no engage follow-up with the second half of the Kalista ultimate. So now, no Kalista ultimate, no Qiyana ultimate, not quite as much pressure there.
Crucially, no Yuumi ultimate either, though. Now we can see Yuumi attached to Arma here. Double Wukong ult, huge potential impact. Gen G very much grouped up, but obviously Arma can be very telegraphed on the entrance. You can see now he's fishing for the flank. He has the flash. Have they spotted him on the wraparound, however?
If you play the poke game versus Mad, you're going to lose. They have a Yuumi on their team, so poke from LeBlanc goes unanswered. Dragon started up. LeBlanc showing in the lane, though. This might be the move.
Pushing, has bot prio for now. Carzzy, sidestep is clean. Ulti coming out, but there's no follow immediate. So Armut onto the backside. He's going to find one knockup. Ruler now getting out to safety. Clip in the midst of everybody. But Mad Lions, they've started the fight and they're starting to take it. Rascal and BDD still stepping forward. Life and Ruler alive on the backside, but they have to be careful. Humanoid, another round of cooldowns might be able to end it. Who is going to get the Drake? Elyoya in the pit, but the Dragon might kill him if they can't end this one quickly. Now the fight kicking in again. BDD from the backside. Instant double kill. Yuumi, Elyoya, can they get it? Kaiser wants a way out, but he cannot find it. Yes, they get the Dragon, but at what cost? BDD was a monster in that fight.
The cost is a quadra. 4 deaths on the side of Mad Lions, and BDD once again on one of his signature champions, sweeps right in, Flash Azir ultimate, secures the extra kills. Good evasive maneuvers there from Ruler because the flank from Arma, I thought was going to set them up for a huge team fight there. Gets behind on the back line, but immediate exhaust and Flash come out. And they're able to evade it for long enough to buy them time. Dragon DPS actually was meaningful too. Elyoya was taking the slow attack from Ocean Drake is so annoying. Big damage. You'll see him right now. He starts at full with the Yuumi heal, but Axe Effect replay will just show how long and how much DPS the Dragon does get out on him. There's the first one. Sweeps right in. We actually have counterintuitive set up on top of your screen there with the triple. Slips back in. Dragon is just beating him down. In spoiler, he gets his revenge. He gets the kill on the Dragon, but BDD takes his whole team out for it. Kaiser wants to slip onto him. Elyoya is saying, there's not enough time, friend. Sorry. See you later.
Sometimes you're so focused on getting revenge on the Dragon that you hang your entire team out to dry. Now, there's nothing you could have done probably to save that team fight. Well played by BDD, and now Gen.G very much in control. 3K gold advantage. Azir scaling up at 2 items. We got triple healing reduction. They are not going to let this Yuumi be impactful whatsoever. Graves looking stronger, Kalista looking terrifying. It's going to be hard for Mad Lions in the minutes to come.
And some of the properties for Yuumi can still be super annoying because you do give your passive, increase to stats whoever you're on, and you get your Qs and your slows and you set them up. But that's generally more when you're on somebody who's super far ahead, and then you wouldn't care about the heal as much. In this case, they actually need both properties of the champion to sustain through the later stages because Gen.G set themselves up so well here with the secure setup. 2 shield bows plus the Gore Drinker. Lots of steel caps down here. 4 steel caps on the side of Gen.G. So if it's not humanoid bursting somebody down, it takes a lot more time and effort for any of the other Mad Lions options. That's why I would profit size that you'll have Kaiser more often on humanoid and come up with that kind of game-saving LeBlanc pick because there's so much armor. There is not magic resistance to have to deal with, and he's going to try and pierce it.
And that's even more amplified by the fact that we do see Moonstone come out on Yuumi now. Super standard, but we have seen a lot of Luden's echoes, interestingly enough. Now, admittedly, there's been a lot of games where Yuumi's gotten giga-fed, I guess would be the official term. So I'm not sure if this is more standard and it's just a product that Yuumi's being fed. But the downside, of course, is while you might have more sustain, you are packing less magic damage. And again, you highlighted it. Ninja Tabbies alone are going to do so much work as we get later in the game.
Plus, as much as Mad Lions are such a good team fighting team, and it got them back into so many games inside the LEC, guess what Gen.G did? And they're not going to split up and give a lot of opportunities. You see 4-1 here from them. Teleport should be answered by Graves quickly. If he doesn't start channeling, he won't be there.
This is going to be big, though. BDD already has the tower set up. Gen.G can just retreat to the tower and fight on their own territory. Humanoid getting incredibly low. He's running for the hills. They've already taken down the clone, but BDD essentially trading his passive for that TP on the opposite side. Rascal, of course, was forced to respond, but now Gen.G can just push forward with confidence into this Mad Lions tier 2. Armanov on the flank. Clid looking to look to get something started here. Now the Culling coming out. Life getting lower and lower. Clid forced to use the ultimate instantly into the wall. That's going to hit 4. That's massive. That's what Mad were waiting for. Clid now going down. Arma into the backside. Oh, and there goes the Yuumi ult. That's a double looking for a triple. Manages to take down Ruler as well. He might even want the Quadra. BDD is going back under the tower, but he held on to the ult this long. Will walk away.
That's it! Mad Lions find their team fight as much doubt as about to set up here. Huge flank, and there it is. Elyoya, yeah, your first Qiyana ultimate, kind of a whiff. Second one, and the river, kind of a whiff. But this one, big comeback. So much gold needed here by Mad Lions. Huge, and then the follow-up from Armad as well. Big use of these team fighting ultimates. This is what they're known for. These sorts of comebacks. You see the flank lined up all along that wall, and guess what? That's all you have to see.
That's all you get.
That's all you get to see before they kill you.
Slapped a not safe for work tag on that bad boy, Keon.
That was the last thing Gen.G saw before they woke up in the fountain. Boom.
Got him. Now,
perfect replay.
There you go. Gen.G is still a small lead, still powerful, but you can see how in the context of a big team fight, if Mad can hit that massive cooldown, Qiyana ult especially, alongside the Wukong ult, the fights get much easier and can't even be Mad favored. Gen.G still getting stronger, BDD still very scary, Ruler still a big threat, a hard champion to lock down. We'll see how this one works out. Armin stepping forward, his ultimate's not available yet, so perfect timing from Gen.G. Mad just did not have the tools to even remotely contest that.
Yeah, no early push to try and push out mid-wave and move through there. No push on bottom either to gain access, and so it makes it kind of hard. Yeah, Mad, had a bit of a pincer going, but just a little bit slower than Gen.G. Gen.G have been so good at setting up the objective first. Very secure too, since maybe you get a flank and you have 2 assassins, but they easily have 2 points they can use as their front line. So since they're all still grouped up, it doesn't really give you a great opportunity like that flank did up on the top side of the map, where you're coming from the side of the wall and you have really great access there for huge wraparound Qiyana ultimate. So this one, since you're not there quick enough for Mad, I like the call not to commit to it. It's kind of afforded to them by the earlier Dragon, number 3, that they actually paid a huge price to get. That bought them this time around to delay that soul. But next one, going to be a very difficult setup here. Ocean Soul would be big for Gen.G. Maybe it gives them that extra edge to sustain through some of the burst from these assassins.
No.
If you can get that extra life coming back for everybody, along with some of the defenses they've been able to stack.
And certainly as well for the Azir, getting there first, getting the vision first, being able to set up, forcing Mad Lions to come into you rather than you having to go into Mad Lions is a massive difference for a champion like Azir, for the Victors, the Oriannas of the world. These control mages love it if you have to walk into them. It's so good for you. You get so much free damage, but have to see. Gen.G can fight for that mid lane control if they can find that avenue. For now, very close in the gold, but Soul also a big thing. 3.5 minutes till Gen.G can potentially just take that Soul and massively change what these fights can look like, as that healing will be big against the assassins.
Yeah.
Taking a bit of poke here, now backing off again. Topside control, the name of the game. Dragon's still very far away, so Baron really the only major objective on the map that has to be concerned about. Humanoid trying to push out the side lane before moving up to potentially join the team.
Like it, try and set up the pressure first. That bottom tower is about to fall over, and that'd be a great place to put that gold if they could get it, get the tower kill to Humanoid. Problem is, because Gen.G have done such a good job, you see taking away any vision from the side of Mad Lions and pushing out their mid wave. Your mid prio plus your vision control means split pushing is so difficult. They can roam down with numbers. They can push you out of any of this territory here. So good defense there by Gen.G, not letting any of this gold go over before the next team fight. And a lot of this LeBlanc build is around cooldown reduction. So it's not quite as bursty as trying to find that really nice, satisfying pop onto the backside. He's about to hit level 16 though, so the extra level in your ultimate puts through a lot more success as far as trying to actually kill BDD or Ruler. Problem is, shield bows on both of the AD carry members, and then Zhonya's now being just completed by BDD. He can Zhonya's through one of the chains and block one of your combos. Next time he sees the ultimate Q come out or something like that, you can avoid so much damage. Plus, we love to see those BDD Azir Secs going in for the big play, so he can use it either way.
I think the later in the game you go, though, the harder the Azir Sec becomes, because you are very much risking getting one shot. The good news is, of course, as you highlighted, the defensive itemization options are easy. You can always Zhonya's, but I think I've seen domestically at least, and I don't know if you've had the same experience in LCS, but you see so many guys who they do the Azir Sec at one item and they're like, yes, and then they get to 3 items and they try to Azir Sec, they get one shot and they're like, wait, I'm not the Azir Sec guy anymore. I'm the team fight damage guy now. I can't be taking risks like this.
Hey man, you gotta take some risks in your life. Spice it up a little. You don't want to do the same old every single time.
I mean, Azir's been alive for, like, lore-wise, 10,000 years or whatever, reincarnated emperor. He gets bored. You gotta flip it every once in a while.
Especially with guys like BDD, who have literally been playing Azir his entire career. He's seen it all.
He's like, I remember when I got a knock-up and a shield on this E.
I remember when I only had one Sand Soldier.
I could push W on the tower to do bonus damage. Oh, man. If you've never experienced that Azir, you're lucky. I envy you. It's a dark time in many League players' mind, but...
Okay, Humanoid did get his level 16, and Gen.G solo laners yet to acquire theirs. So a little bit of an advantage trying to go in for the poke now.
And you highlighted earlier, cooldown reduction, just about that poke, not about that big satisfying pop until maybe health bars are a little bit lower, but can just keep spamming these cooldowns. Ton of ability haste at this point in the game. Yuumi gonna back Back that up a little bit as well. Again, not the Luden's build, but still a decent amount of damage here with the Chemtech Putrefier.
And despite Grievous Wounds items being picked up all over the place on the side of Gen G, if you just continue to go in for this poke and you don't get locked in for the all-in from Mad Lions, you slowly acquire that advantage.
Giant staring contest here. Arma going to burn that cooldown now. Wukong, relatively long cooldowns on the basic ability. They're not going to commit to this one, but he's just going to turn right back on top of them. Exhaust going down, Coling over the wall. Now Humanoid jumping onto the entire team. Not a lot of damage coming out, but big ult from Elyoya. They stack up against the wall, but BDD again, he wants to turn it, but Humanoid, he's already found his priority target. They're still living, they're holding on. They got all those Grievous Wounds, but they can't finish the kill. It's a masterclass in 2v2, 3v2 rather, as the Yumi's still part of the fight. But Clid, BDD holding on. Elyoya ready to go over the wall, but they're going to turn immediately. Oh, man! Close fight at the end of the day. Mad, take it.
And who's left standing? It's the Yuumi empowered LeBlanc. Gen G, I think they made a large blunder right at the beginning of this fight, chasing Arma so far into the jungle, in between these two walls, in between this corridor. You are just asking for the double ultimate. Arma turns it around on them. Good job by him to lure Gen G through this death corridor behind Dragon Pit. He immediately then flashes on 3 members. Big knockup. Rascal takes 80% of his life and shield bow pop just from the culling over the wall and Arma on him. So good flash here. He sets it up. Yuumi ult plus Wukong ult. Elyoya, keep your eyes top of the screen. He comes around. They're between the 2 walls. Multiple knockup. He flashes in, gets the big ult. Then it's about the chase down on the outside, though. BDD, even with exhaust on him, walls over. They get the kill onto Kalista, finishing him off. Humanoid tried to get the chain there through onto BDD, locks up Clid instead. Zhonya's is used early, and since Elyoya on the other side of the screen has Yuumi plus was able to get the Honey Fruit, enough damage to finish off the Azir and easily set up Elyoya, Humanoid.
Oh, we won that one.
Yeah, the longer the fight goes, the more the team with Yuumi is happy. As much work as BDD can put in on the Azir, we don't have numbers here for healing numbers. So damage numbers are great, but sustain also goes a long way.
It certainly does. Impressive team fight from the side of Mad. Felt very closer when Humanoid first calling over the wall. Felt great. Humanoid jumping over the wall didn't do that much damage initially, but then of course the follow-up, a clean ult from Elyoya. Again, the first 3, not good. 4 and 5, great.
I mean, that, if you were going to request which ults are going to be good, you would want a power curve that's better later into the game, you know, the more critical ones. So let's take a look at this Baron attempt from Gen G over the back of the wall. There's no vision. They have no idea until they mouse over. They see the teleport. You can see teleports in fog, but it's too late.
3K getting lower. Elyoya, he can just ult the wall. Maybe they can get something back. Is going in. Big damage. Clid now. He has the passive protect him, but he's still going to get locked up here. They're going to take down the jungler, Life giving his life as well. And Gen G going to retreat 3 strong. They've still got Baron, but there's a brief window now for Mad to punish.
And what it's about is what you get after that. Because 2 kills, if it's just that for Baron, is not too shabby of a trade. But because you give over your 2 kills, it's not just that kill gold, it's your map pressure. And there's so much here standing for Mad Lions to take. Mid tower evaporates. And even with the Baron buff here, still 25 seconds left on Clid, 15 left there on Life. So they don't have the presence to actually force on either of these. And Mad Lions taking the time to push out every single lane. Rascal fancies himself a 1v1.
All right, smoke screen already used.
Alco Gaming.
Humanoid. All right. They are herding Humanoid very slowly but surely into the waiting arms of BDD. He's going to dash through. He's going to push back. Graves is now walking back to the clone spot, but Humanoid still manages to make it out.
Well, you always remember this day as the day you wasted time running after the LeBlanc. Thought we were going to go with the classic captain there.
Yeah,
but
I did. You mixed it up. All right.
Little U-turn right out of that
there
one.
You go.
It's been used too many times, sir. Too many times. Gen G, though, they still now will retain the Baron buff, so see what they can actually do pushing out. Mad Lions were pretty happy with being able to get mid-turret, push on bottom side there as well. And Humanoid buying them plenty of time, avoiding both solo laners from the side of Gen G. Gets pretty good gold outcome out of it. Minus over 1,300 gold here for the side of Gen G off of that Baron so far.
And again, waiting for that next big team fight. Soul still on the table for Gen G in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I think crucially, earlier it was the ability haste build for LeBlanc. But now that she's got the death cap, we're back to full-on damage. She can definitely pop somebody. And as highlighted earlier, mostly physical damage. There's no MR, and now the fight's kicking off. Oh, yeah, again into the back line. They're trying to delete the entire team. Ruler now running for his life, but he's holding on for now. Humanoid immediately leaps to the back line, trying to isolate the primary characters, but Elyoyo is getting burned down. The Yuumi healing is still coming in clutch. The grievous wounds are not enough. Humanoid is popping people left and right. BDD, Rascal, Ruler standing strong, but Humanoid flashing in. Alongside the W, Ruler blinking health bar. No major objectives on the map right now, but they're trying to take away these last Barons, and Humanoid just leaping in, leaping out, healing up, and doing it again.
It's beautiful to watch the kite and poke playstyle here when you have Yuumi trying to make use of your annoying mobility with your LeBlancs, with your Qiyana, poke them down, then rely on that healing cooldown to go for round number 2. In the end, though, it only gets kind of a 2-for-1 as far as the kills go, and Gen G able to fight their way out of the majority of this dangerous situation. BDD, remember, was not there at the beginning of the fight, and he's the one that does the most work for this team as far as DPS output, so teleport was used, arrived a little bit late, and Mad Lions now hard push up mid.
Mad Lions have mid prio, but all the vision is still set up in the favor of Gen G. They need to move back to this objective. 11 seconds until it spawns. Clid has just respawned, and we'll head to that one. This could be the fight that decides the game. Elyoyo has his ultimate. Similar story on the outside. Ruler's still waiting on his. That's going to be big. BDD does not have his ultimate. Potentially a small window where Mad can force a fight.
Ooh, he can blast cone into the brush inside Dragon Pit, but it'll turn around and aggro him. Dragon can't be fooled.
Certainly will not be. Gen G are giving up creeps just to be here. It's a massive wave stacking. Not going to be too impactful yet, but Elyoyo, again, going in. He's going to find 3-man lockup. The pullback is there. Ruler throwing him back to the midst of the team. They've held the line. They've held the front line. Gen G standing strong, but it's Humanoid on the flank. He's trying to burn down Rascal, but it's not enough. BDD going forward. BDD hungry for blood. Elyoyo invisible for a moment, leaping in, dashing in, trying to get the job done, and he'll make it happen. Needs to wait a few seconds to get the grass plate back up. Carzzy on the flank. Humanoid on the flank. Gen G are being picked apart. They tried to fight front to back, but Mad Lions found the back line access. Rascal now coming back. Humanoid locked up. They want to finish the job. He's invisible, but not nearly enough. They get they do not get the soul. Carzzy takes it away. But Gen G, they've taken the fight. They can run bot lane. They can take even more.
See, the thing with forcing on an objective, Gen G are the ones that want the all-in for the fight. So Mad chunking in, they just continue it, force down the extra kills here on the carry. So Gen G, they acquired the kills they wanted, except for the Dragon. Carzzy was able to steal it away. No soul, but the death timers are all they need, Dracos.
They're pushing in. 7 seconds on Armut. Now going to see the recall from Elyoyo, but breaking that bot lane inhibitor is massive. Now a point of pressure. 1 minute and 20 seconds till the Baron and those super minions are going to be knocking on the bottom side of Mad Lions' base.
So the full commit here on the opening gets a decent chunk onto Rascal, but not enough burst damage. You see Humanoid tries to flank around and pick him off, but the flash from Rascal saves his life, so they don't get the triumph.
The thought big damage now going in. Rascal isolated, taken out.
No flash this time around. He flashed in the last team fight to avoid the combo from Humanoid. And even though Gen G were able to push them out of the river, Carzzy with the last bit of damage on that Lucian, the big hero for them, denies the soul, gets themselves to soul point. 3 oceans in a row picked up there. Not in a row, but nevertheless, 3!
That's all that matters, 3. Next one will be soul point for either side. And again, as we head into, I keep saying this, but what could be the final fight of the game, remember the stakes of this group. This is the group where everybody in the world feels like anybody can get out. After yesterday, Mad were looking beatable, and if Gen G took them down today, they would have felt like the favorites to make it out of this group in first place. But Mad are now firing back. We could be in a group at the end of this day with 4 teams at 1-1. Pressure just continues to rise. Every single one of these best of ones matters so much.
Certainly does, and in the high-pressure situations like Baron spawning now, the pressure mounts. There's no vision and no attempt from Gen G to even get to that side of the map. They're making a play at a pick on this side. They've completely given it up. This will be Mad Lions Baron.
Massive for the Mad Lions. See what they can do with it now. Gen G's first Baron, they had a lot of members picked off. They didn't really get to use that pressure too much across the map. Mad Lions, all 5 members getting it is big.
The sacrifices Mad Lions made to get both the first Dragon, which remember cost them several deaths to delay the Ocean Soul points, and then the sacrifices in the preceding ones and being able to pick up the last one paid off so big because now they've scaled. Guess what? Everyone always referring to the Yuumi scaling is dream situations like this where you've got multiple assassins for the Yuumi to jump on and empower. It becomes very difficult here for Gen G. They can try and rely on BDD, fight around him. He has huge carry potential, huge damage output, but there are so many angles that they have to worry about and have to cover from Mad. They're just making the call to split. Baron empowered recalls means you can answer these calls very effectively, but they're keeping, no, okay, they even get LeBlanc back. So they successfully forced all the recalls out of Mad Lions just with the bottom side push here. Baron empowered ones means it doesn't cost them anything.
Good from Gen G to recognize that that's one of the ways that they can force Mad not to utilize that Baron. Of course, maybe flashbacks to the game we saw earlier today, that big base race between FBX and C9, not wanting to take any of those risks, even though they are the ones with the Baron buff. So wasting some of this time on the Baron. Of course, all the tier 2s were essentially already gone, so there's really not a lot to easily take with this Baron, but I love it. A death push from Gen G. Is it going to work out for them?
Teleport is there for Humanoid. He's currently pushing up mid. Rascals is about to come up, so I doubt they'll force the fight before Rascals' cooldown comes up. A couple more seconds. There he goes. Should have it.
Doesn't see anybody. They might not even be there, Observers. Oh, I mean, well played, but you're baiting us. Oh, yeah, coming over the wall. Division now, they're going to see it. They can start to poke. They can get Gen G out of the area. A minute to that. Also crucial, Ocean Soul will spawn. Whoever takes this dragon gets Ocean Soul.
I love the tension created. They're building the thriller. Guesswork. Fog of War. At any second.
I'm sorry.
Are you scared? It doesn't sound like you're scared. That's not a scared
earlier
laugh.
you told me you knew my address. It's like the nervous laugh. You know what I mean? The call's coming from inside the house. There we go. Humanoid breaks down mid lane tier, last tower there, and is going to look to take this inhibitor pretty quickly. Of course, has enough AP that he burns through this pretty rapidly.
Remember, Mad Lion make a mistake though. You know, they rely on a lot of poke and then kite play pattern here to make full use of the Yuumi. So a lot of multiple directions. You want to kind of split your positioning, but still focus fire. So it creates kind of this dichotomy where you need the positioning early on with your wards. They should be able to get this Ocean. That thing evaporates. So they're the ones that finally went out the long, arduous war of the Ocean Drake of 2021. In 41 minutes into the game, Mad Lions prevail.
This might be an 8 Drake game. You know, we're
oh, teleport flake! They're going for it. Mad Lions pincer. That is a deep teleport. They didn't see the channel.
The recalls are staggered. BDD's gonna have to TP into this one, or are they gonna just jump right onto Ruler? Waiting time. Kobe, the call is coming from inside. No, it's not. They're gonna back away.
Man, they really got us with that one.
Do they know the TP is gone? That would be the question, because that is a cooldown that could be.
Yeah, they're like, how did he get here? I believe he teleported, sir.
Sneaky monkey.
All right, they're back inside the base.
Now I'm gonna step forward. Are they gonna go for the engage? Well, are they feeling confident enough? In the meantime, they can just like humanoid 1 or 2 autos at a time, eventually break this down. But I feel like we just keep getting more and more hyped. We're in the filler arc of the anime. It's time to fight, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult now for Gen G because you can only cut so much healing. Even at reduced properties here, when you've got Yuumi on the team, plus the Ocean Soul, they can easily avoid a lot of these all-ins. How hard is it? You know, life, yeah, you can throw out the hook, but guess what? Wukong's got answers, Lucian's got answers. Everybody on this team has dashes, has answers to try and avoid the all-in.
That's a scoop D. He does manage to hit him, but now he has to go gold, and he has 5 bit more time. Life now going in there trying to lock up the carry, but now Yo-Yo, a massive ult. Now they're fighting into the pinch, into the waiting arms of a Wukong, but Life, Ruler, maybe they can get this done. Ruler still barreling through this Kalista. Can they kill him? She's just so strong, but Humanoid now on the flank. Ruler has to survive. Ruler has to make it through Humanoid's onslaught. Can he do it? Can he finish the job? That's the GA procced. He's walking away, but Mad, surely they've come out to win the day. No, Life buying more time for Rascal to now retreat. Ruler still standing. It is an absolute bloodbath at the end of the day. Mad Lions slightly advantaged.
Yuumi chase down, finds everyone except for Rascal. Teleports out, they can save the base, and there's still a minute left on the Baron, so your death timers are not long enough. That doesn't mean Baron. There is still more fight left in this game, baby. 43.5 minutes in. We still haven't even hit the peak.
Ring the bell, baby. It's time for round 2, round 3, round 4, whatever you want to call it. One more fight. Oh, Gen G, I feel like they backed themselves into the corner. The good news is even in the Ocean Soul, they have so much healing reduction on this composition, but they can't afford to make another mistake. If Elyoya gets another good ult, this game is over.
It's so hard for them to chase down any of the stragglers out of these team fights, though. So even if you have a good opening, and we're like, oh my god, they got him, they pincer, Carzzy's down, Flash Exhaust down for the Lucian, you can't pin down any of the other assassins, and Yuumi actually gets to switch between them. Full value here. And with the sustain, they draw it out, they poke down, they pick off another person, they pick off another person, and Mad Lions are able to slowly whittle down the members of Gen G, finally picking them off and getting an objective in the aftermath. But this Super Minions up mid, Baron now on the map. You can push out your side waves first. You see quickly sending Humanoid down the bottom side. His teleport is ready. And meanwhile, Gen G, no, they're forced. Not too many options here. Have to group up, try and get your mid prio back, and then force.
Oh, difficult position to be in, and Elyoya again waiting in the darkness.
Time is not in Gen G's favor, so Mad just need to play it a little bit cautiously here. You prod and poke, but you don't fall victim to a brush game. All you have to do is buy time. Slowly LeBlanc will win you the game. At the inhibitor now, chunking it down. Super Minions will buff each other up. There you go. Cautious play here from Mad Lions to finish it out exactly as you should.
So hard for Gen G to find a way back in this game. So hard for Gen G to even find a 5v5 if that's what they're looking for. Because as you highlighted, Humanoid already so slippery, so hard to lock down. But when you've got a Yuumi on this team as well, there's no reason for them to group. Mad Lions, though, are going to force the Baron. Again, Gen G looks like they just have to concede this. But if they concede this one, if Mad Lions push in and take a third inhibitor, then if that's not the game, surely the Elder Dragon will be. And at that point, 2-3 inhibitors down, Mad might not even need to force a 5v5 that objective.
You know what everybody's game plan at these late stages of the game when you're behind like this is? Your game plan is, I hope that they force a fight on Elder Dragon and we win a smite flip, because Elder Dragon is the great equalizer. That would allow you to actually win the team fight, to finish off people. So if you can stall out until then and then win a flip on an Elder Dragon, that would be your hope. Mad Lions, they don't have to give you that opportunity though. With Baron buff, with 2 lines of Super Minions, all you have to do is focus on top side and just pin down Gen G. Wait for your minions to do some work for you. You see, they're not committing, just waiting for the extra reinforcements. The 6th man on the field, the Super's coming in.
Yep. Mad Lions obviously praised for their team fighting, but knowing when not to fight also an important skill. Is Humanoid going to go for a bit of poke here on the Clit? Massive damage now frees up the Mad bottom lane to move in on the top side and break down the third inhibitor. Gen G on life support, just surviving as best as they can, but if they lose a single member here, the game will end. They might not even need to lose anybody as Mad just keep the siege going. Hook goes in, fake Wukong now locked up. Instantly the ulti onto the Nexus, and that's gonna do it. Gen G, they're hoping to find something back. BDD firing, trying to get anything done. He's gonna push him away. He's got big damage, he's exhausted. Arma though still, it's just not enough. He goes golden, he's got a stopwatch too, but he just cannot make the play happen. Mad Lions close out with confidence.
And fans around the world rejoice as Yuumi finds another successful victory. In all seriousness, congrats to Mad Lions weathering that early deficit.
Absolutely.
And I think very intelligently and very consciously trading out fair